I'm Rob, and today we're at the Jolly Sailor in Bursledon. From the Jolly Sailor we head back in the direction we came, along the lane. Lucky enough to see a young lady to explain what this was. We wondered what it was. We could see it over the fence and had no idea, and it's a lift that takes the stuff down to the Jolly Sailor. So we went down the steps here, look. And there you go. So bins go in it, beer barrels go in it, anything. Very clever. The Jolly Sailor was built in 1751. It wasn't built as a pub, it was built as a vicarage. So there's a bit of a link with the yew trees, I suppose. It's grade 2 listed, and it didn't become a pub until 1845. And of course it became really famous in the 1980s with the Howard's Way television series. So this is Bursledon Station, and this is the railway line that runs through from Southampton to Portsmouth. We take the left fork. That's a lovely development, Barn Court. Very nice. So keep your eyes open as you're walking along the road. There's some lovely views. Look at that view down the Hamble. So just past that lovely view, if you've got a sandwich, there's a nice bench and a nice viewpoint. There's a very handy board telling you what's what. So that lovely view. And at the little triangle we are going left. And we continue on up through the village past the Vine Inn. When you reach a signpost, you don't go down Sultan's Lane, but you carry straight on in this direction past the cottage. As the road bends round to the right, we follow the green footpath sign down here. This would be nice in the summer, a nice cool path through the trees. As it is, it's October and it's a nice temperature for walking anyway. Well, it makes a change from finding pants up in the tree. We've got a monkey. So you come out onto a road for a stretch. Continue on the footpath. We cross over a gravel track and we continue into the woods. So walking over the little bridge, and we're on what we call the Strawberry Trail now. Don't be tempted off to the right. Carry straight on past the big oak tree. When you emerge on the concreted path where the Esso pipeline is, you turn right, and then we're turning left where that marker post is there. So off we go to the left. Now the Esso pipeline, it runs all the way from Forry, goes under the sea to BP Hamble, and then onward, buried underground, all the way up to Gatwick and I believe Heathrow. At this finger post we ignore the path off to the right to carry straight on this very straight path. I wonder what was in there before to warrant such a heavy duty fence. Whether that's anything to do with TS Mercury that used to be in the Hamble, the training ship that used to train the boy sailors. Maybe there's something on the shore, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just thinking too much. Second World War tank traps left there. Stop tanks rolling over the bridge if ever they were to invade. Crossing over the Southampton to Portsmouth branch line again. We're merging out onto Satchel Lane. It's quite busy, Satchel Lane. We're going to turn left, so careful when you're walking down here. After a short distance around a couple of bends, look out for this on the right, and we're taking the footpath up through the old airfield. That's the footpath sign hidden in the bushes. This that you can see in the tree here, that is a dormouse trap. It doesn't trap them. What it's there for is to assess how many dormice there are in the area. They leave little footprints in there. One wonders why it's there. Usually they put them where they're going to do development. Whether that's in the offing here or not, I don't know. We carry on forwards, and to the right, this overgrown field. Now this was the old Hamble aerodrome, and it was used to train commercial pilots from 1931 right through until the 80s. So if you've ever flown on a charter jet, chances are that your pilot would have been trained there. But now it's sort of overgrown, subject to argument about development or not development, and it's just sort of a wild space at the moment. And pretty soon the footpath that's been sandwiched between the old airfield and the houses comes out onto a new housing estate, which has been built on the edge of the aerodrome, as reflected in the names of some of the roads. So we carry straight on, but as I say, the road names over there, I believe that is Spitfire Way. As you may have seen in my Hamble, Foreshore and Commonwealth, this is the Priory Church of St Andrew the Apostle. And there's a memorial to those that died from the training ship Mercury. So the church has had lots of later additions, but basically it's 12th century. That's a 900-year-old priory, that bit there. If you want to see the stained glass, I don't know when to suggest coming. I've been to this church twice on 2 different walks and it's never open. We walk down the high street towards the village. When you reach the square, we're going to turn right to walk down to the foreshore. Honestly, those are the best. I've tried them and I've not had any pasty better than from here. This is a Mark 28 anti-submarine mine. It's got a little slot cut in it, and the proceeds are for the Hamble Inshore Rescue. That's the Hamble Inshore Rescue. Got a bit of a book sale going on. We've gone past the ferry, but we're going to have a little walk along the bit of the foreshore I didn't do on the Hamble foreshore walk, believe it or not. Just walk up to the end and have a look. At the end of the foreshore, we've got the Hamble River Sailing Club. Just had a wander up here really to see what was up here, because we missed it on the last walk. But interesting to note, lots and lots and lots of benches, nice grassy space and picnic benches. So if you want to stop on this walk or the Hamble one for a picnic, this is quite a good place. Curiosity satisfied, we're going to walk back onto the pontoon to catch the pink ferry to Warsash. Hamble lifeboat there doing a bit of pontoon bashing. Bit of practice maybe. They're on the pontoon waiting for the pink ferry to come back. So more about Hamble on my Hamble video, but basically it was famous for oyster fishing, shipbuilding back in Tudor times, smuggling and piracy. Nowadays there's an aircraft factory. It's been one for a few years, AV Row, Ferry aircraft factory, that's Follands, and then British Aerospace, all on the same site. And here comes our little ferry for today.
But down there to Hamble-Le-River Sailing Club, down there to your left, straight across to Warsash was the original Ferryland.
Yeah?
And it's been going since the 1400s.
Blimey.
And I believe Bursledon was kind of settled by the church.
Yep.
And the guys that created the Bursledon, the Abbey, and Abbey at Netley, they're the ones that really put this into practice. It was long before it had a bridge up there. So what happened was, I think this went on and on and on, especially, you know, during the First World War, Second World War. The guy that I replaced on this boat had been working on this river for 63 years.
Is this the famous Ray?
That's Ray.
Ah, right.
And I talk to him quite often. He's in poor health now because when he started, he rode from there across to Hamble.
Really?
And that was back when the Spitfire factory was going.
Yeah.
So he was taking a lot of people to work, but yeah, Ray is quite famous. Ray and the river are synonymous. They're one being, you know what I mean? And,
that's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice trip, really nice guy. And here we are, over in Warsash. Now you can link my Hamble walk with Warsash, and you can link this walk with Warsash, or you can link this walk with the Hamble walk if you want longer walks. So the choice is yours, or you can just do the walks as they are, all three of them. Anyway, we're going ashore. So up in Warsash is the Warsash Maritime Academy, and that's run now by Southampton Solent University. Warsash mainly survived on fishing. These days it's more yachting. And anyway, you'll learn more about Warsash on my Warsash walk, because we're walking away from Warsash towards Bursledon and Lower Swanwick. There's a white egret. The tide is fairly well in. There are lots of wrecks under there visible at low tide. Won't we see any today? I don't know, but the oldest wreck is from around 668 AD to 704. There's also an Admiralty motor fishing vessel, which is the biggest wreck on the river. That was built in 1944. And it was left here abandoned in the 1990s. Also, some would have you believe that Alfred the Great defeated the Vikings in this river, but that's up for debate. That could be here, or it could be Chichester Harbour, could be lots of places. The Eastleigh Borough claim it as their own. I don't blame them. There's a sill there, look.
Yeah, they roll in.
Carrying straight on, but I believe that if you take this path on the right, you can go up through Court Copse, and I think you can get to Holly Hill Woodland Park from there. Holly Hill Woodland Park is lovely. In fact, you're probably better off driving there and parking in the car park, because it's quite big and it's south. It's got lakes and woods, and yeah, it's a nice place to have a picnic. Nice house with a nice couple of jet skis on their pontoon. And you're literally just following the river along this main gravel path. There's the wreck of some old steel boat. You can just see the original keel and a few of the metal uprights. And there's another wreck, a wooden one this time. A beautiful, beautiful marshes there. Look. Still a bit of clinker board on the old ribs of that wreck. And all the while there's these mysterious things poking up out of the mud. So we're never to know what they are. None more so than these apparent fence posts. Maybe withies, maybe this path had a cut in it before and you could follow the withies through into the marsh, don't know. So lots of donkeys in the field to our left. Sorry, the field to our right. And the little one's come over to see us. Hello! Hello, you're a cutie, aren't you? Nothing to eat, matey, sorry. Don't be like that one when I was camping in the forest that kicked my primer stove over, will you? Just because I've got nothing to eat. And we're following directly along the river. A little trek through Universal Marina. Just make sure you keep out of the way of the travelling cranes and everything else that's going on up here. If you fancy a drink, there's a little cafe there en route. Or if you're waiting for your boat to come down off the rack. And we exit the marina, past the Red Buoys. And we come out onto Lower Swanwick foreshore. When we come out the end of Swanwick Shore Road, we're going to turn left across the bridge from Fareham territory, where they charge you to use the car parks that were always free, to Eastleigh, where we were in a free car park. So up to this point, I haven't mentioned the elephant in the room, which is Howard's Way, but I will from here on. And we're back into Eastleigh. So this is Deacon's Marina and the old elephant boatyard. Now in Howard's Way there's a previous chandlery there where the foreshore chandlery is, and that was Ken Masters' chandlery. And then Jack and Apple Ralph run the boatyard. So the elephant boatyard It's very, very old, and they made warships, notably HMS Elephant in 1786. She was Nelson's flagship at the Battle of Copenhagen. And we're turning left back to the Jolly Sailor along Church Lane. So we turn left again into Station Road, which unsurprisingly leads up to the station. You have a choice. The walk says go through the car park, or you can walk up the hill. It's up to you. I'm going to go through the car park and put my drinks bottle back in the car. And walk up the footpath. Just here, because we're masochists, we're going to go back down the hill again and take the walk along the shore to the pub. So that's the Elephant Boatyard, and that was the Mermaid Boatyard in Howard's Way, where Tom and Jan used to take the flying fish. But we take the footpath that hugs the shoreline to the right. Here we are, back at the Jolly Sailor, and don't try this at high tide. So that was a lovely walk along the River Hamble, Howard's Way land, and it was about 7 miles. Very nice. Take your £2.50 for the little pink ferry over to Warsash, and check the tides as well if you want to walk down here and stand where I'm stood, or you'd be waist deep in water if it was high tide. We're going to go in the pub and have a drink now, but if you like that walk, then please think about liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.
Big steam engine. The driver in the front.
It's a nice 18th century pub, low beams, little nooks and crannies.